First pick.
All righty, welcome to another episode of On the Clock, your amateur baseball and MLB draft podcast. All right, I'm Jared. As always, that's Tyler. We have an awesome guest with us today. We got Devin Obee out of the University of Georgia. Devin, how are you doing today, man?
I'm great. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, man, we're really excited to have you on. I know Tyler's seen you a lot at Duke during your career there. First question we just kind of always ask guys is take us through your journey through amateur baseball so far, how you kind of got to where you are at the University of Georgia today.
Yeah, so out of eighth grade, I was I'm from like Bowling Green, Kentucky, and went there. Wanted to play varsity as an eighth grader. Coach didn't let me, so my dad said we're moving to Nashville, Tennessee, and so we went to Nashville, Tennessee, enrolled into Ensworth High School with Jason Maxwell. I don't know if you guys know him, but he coached the USA team a couple times and won all the championships. Everybody knows Coach Maxwell basically, but great guy. Played for him for a couple years, and my freshman year, the catcher Rudy Maxwell at the time was already committed to Duke, and I just kind of balled out. And Coach Steen and Josh Jordan, all those guys saw me, and they're like, "You want to come to Duke?" And I was like, "Yeah, 100%." And I went to Duke. I had a great experience. Went there for 3 years. My freshman year, played a good bit. Then like the basically whole coaching staff just switched. Coach Jordan went to LSU, won the national championship. Shout out to him. And love Coach Jordan. And he taught me a lot about outfield and just kind of how to approach the game and from the defensive aspect. And going on to my sophomore year, didn't play as much, but honestly, it was one of my favorite years. Looking back on it, because it just taught me a lot about myself. Because honestly, just coming into my freshman year, I feel like a lot of guys just have a lot of an ego. And I was one of those guys. I was like, man, I'm the best guy out here. I still have that mentality, but it was a humbling experience, and it taught me a lot about how to kind of approach the game from a different mindset. To understand that you're gonna go through the ups and downs, but keep your head at the same level, basically. And so went through that year. We had a successful year at Duke, and that summer. Didn't play as much, but honestly, just for me, what's a big thing is my faith, and just knowing that God's always got me. My faith in Jesus Christ. I just always like to look at the David and Goliath story, and that's one of the things that really kept me going through that tough time for me personally. And went through that summer and played the Cape. And didn't know what to expect, because going from not playing at all to your sophomore year, and then people saying, "Oh, I got to go to the Cape, where the best players in the country are at," and just going there and ended up being a Cape Cod All-Star and MVP of my team. So that was a really big confidence booster, and just being able to understand how what God this is what God just put you through, just the things that you learn, and that everything is for a reason. And just coming out on the other side, just seeing that, just building my confidence. Then that just leading into that junior year, had a great season. As we all know, just being able to win the AC championship and being able to win the tournament MVP was one of the highlights. And just being able to just celebrate with my team, and that was just one of the biggest things. So then now into the transfer portal, trained this fall, and I'm getting ready and I'm excited to go to Georgia. So it's I'm just blessed.
Yeah, man, I love that. Before I kind of turn over to Tyler, who I know has probably got tons of questions related to Duke and the Cape Cod League, I got to ask, you come from a football family, your dad played in the NFL. Did you play a lot of football growing up? Was that a big sport for you as well?
So I feel for people that have NFL dads, they normally don't like them to play football.
Yeah.
The ones that I know.
Yeah.
Just because so I always wanted to play football. I was always around football as a kid. Just when he was coaching at Stanford, that was really the only times I got to see him, is because you guys know how coaching is just it just takes all your time up.
Yeah.
The only time I was ever like really around my dad was just at the football field and just playing ball, just around Richard Sherman and Andrew Luck, just guys like that. Just
That's
being
awesome.
as a kid, didn't even know, but just being around them. So yeah, like honestly, I don't know why I didn't play football. I played it a couple years in high school. I played my freshman and sophomore year, but my dad was like, I don't know, like because for background on him, he broke his ankle. He was like, I know how this game goes. He always tells everybody NFL stands for not for long.
Yeah.
Like he was like, I love you as my son. I don't want to put you through that. You have the talents and baseball is your thing. So I want you to go with baseball. So I stuck with baseball.
I love it.
I was gonna say I like that too because it definitely paid off in the end, didn't it?
100%, 100%.
I love it. I did want to ask you a couple things first. You touched on not playing your sophomore year, but then going into your junior year, and then you secured a center field spot for Duke. What specifically was that moment like when Coach Pollard gave you the news that you're going to be that starting center fielder for a squad that had Omaha ambitions going into the last year?
Yeah, it was definitely it was honestly just an honor. Like as I said, my mentality changed from my sophomore year being on the bench and kind of learning like, okay, like I'm not the best player out here, like, and just being able to just understand that and being able to see what I need to work on and being able to go into the cage and get extra work, because honestly, I saw it as a benefit, honestly, like not playing on the field gave me more time to train and get in the weight room and do all types of things. So, and then when Coach Pollard told me that, I was going to be the starting center fielder for a team like that, I was honored at the end of the day, like just being able to play for just from the success that we had last year and being able to and also being the captain on the team and being able to like the guys just seeing me as a leader was just an honor. So that's I hold that to my heart. So that's why I play so hard every single day. And yeah.
No, I love that. And then I do want to ask you too, do you still talk to any of the guys from Duke since moving on?
Yeah, I talk to them, but like just with the NCAA rules, just how it is with like Georgia and like I'm like a prospect. So I'm like, I kind of try to like not be around them too much because I don't want to like mess up my eligibility and stuff like that. So we're still cool. Like I love the guys. I'm always gonna like root for them and stuff like that. But there's just like some things with like the NCAA rules that we didn't want to cross. So
no, totally understandable on that front.
But yeah, I love those guys though. We still keep in touch. They, I've been rooting for them. I've been trying, like we have like classes together. I'm like, how's the season going? Like, how y'all doing? Like, how y'all looking this year? And they're like, hey, we're good. I'm like, I'm gonna be keeping in touch. So like man, I can't wait to see what they can do this year because I think they have a really good squad this year.
That makes two of us. I think they're going to do a really good job this year. Kind of getting to Georgia though, what's the biggest thing you've worked on this fall from like maybe a hit tool standpoint or just any other aspect on the field for you? What's been the biggest thing you've been working on?
Yeah, so the biggest thing I've been working on is kind of like my back hip and kind of trying to like externally rotate it. So like when I go forward, keeping that like back leg back almost. So like basically it's like keeping me on balance and not having my back knee collapse. Because like oftentimes my back knee would like collapse, which would make me like fall forward. And when I fall forward, like a slider or a changeup, I would be like susceptible to that. So that was just one of the things that I saw. And another thing I've been training on is just more speed, just being able to steal more bases. I didn't get to steal as many bases last year. So that's like one of my biggest things that I want to do this year, especially being a center fielder. I got the speed. I want to be able to showcase that, on the field.
I got you. With that speed, I do want to ask you this. It's going to be a random question that I probably should have kept for the end, Jared, but I'm going to ask it now. I grew up a track and field athlete for cross country and long distance, but would you ever try and race Usain Bolt in a 100-meter dash? And do you think you could beat him?
No chance. I would definitely try though. 100%. I'm not scared of Usain Bolt. Like I would definitely race him, but I'm a realist. Like he's definitely gonna burn me, but you never know. Like I think like as iron sharpens iron, a brother sharpens a brother. I might beat him, just because he's faster than me. You know how it is. Like when like
could be a bad day for him.
You race him, you get faster. So
yeah,
who knows?
Yeah, it could be a bad day for him. Maybe he didn't train. Took it too light.
Exactly.
Gets a bad jump out of the gate. Hey, you probably beat him at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. They always say he has like a slow start, but I don't think he has a slow start. But he's got too much speed.
I think he kind of lollygags out of the gate, and it's just like, hey, by the way, I'm the fastest guy on the field. Bye.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
All right, Jared, you're up.
Yeah, no, I like to kind of ask some of the questions about kind of who you are off the field. You talked a little bit about how important your faith was. For you, what do you do to balance academics, baseball, and personal time? What are some of the things you like to do outside of the field that really kind of help keep your mind off the game sometimes?
Yeah, 100%. As I mentioned before, like my faith is one of the biggest things. Like what I've been working on really like this fall was putting Christ first in everything that I do. So one of the things that I try to do is like every time I wake up in the morning, I try to put I have this small Bible. So I put it over my phone because I feel because I saw a TikTok and it was telling me, it was like, whatever you put first, it's like what you idolize. So I was like, man, every time I wake up, I'll look at my phone, try to see what I got to do for the day. And I'm forgetting about God. So one of the things was okay, I need to focus more on Christ. And it just gives you a relieving feeling, knowing that, Christ is always with you. It just gives me peace. Just peace of mind. That's why I'm just always happy. It just gives you a peace of mind. So that's one of the things that's really close to me. And also another thing, just I try to prepare, get stuff done. As far as academics and having to balance that with athletics, especially just being at Duke, it's taught me a lot. The academics was really tough at Duke, and just being able to learn how to get your stuff done early so then you can get to the field. That was the biggest thing that I've learned from Duke. And then also I also just play video games. I feel it doesn't have to be serious all the time. I feel I train. I just enjoy training, loving Christ, and then playing video games, and then of course my academics. But other than that, that's just I don't know. It's just peaceful for me.
Yeah, I love that. I love that concept of the waking up, the first thing that you've kind of put in front of your face is what's most important to you. Because I think about everybody just picks up their phone, doom scrolls, whatever. Right?
You don't think about it until you're oh wow,
Yeah, I do a daily journal because I get to write about the 3 most things that I are positive in my life. And so I think if you focus on those things, you're okay, this is what's most important, no matter what happens during the day.
Yeah, exactly. Especially about this for me, just being grateful for the small things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff you just don't think about. I woke up today,
yeah,
I'm alive. I get to be on this interview with you guys. Just small stuff like that. It's just a blessing.
I love that. For you too, this kind of shapes into this question, but growing up, who were some of your biggest influences and who has kind of shaped not just your game, but you as a person?
Yeah, I'd say definitely my dad.
Yeah.
Just having that NFL background, it was such an advantage for me. Having somebody, when I was a kid, I didn't really understand it. I was why are you always on me, Dad? What, you know what I mean? He was
yeah,
all right, this is what it takes to be a pro. So just being able to learn that at a young age and to see how he works and how he loves people and just the things that he does every day just really inspired me to be similar to that and to know that when it comes to my baseball, it's the same thing at the end of the day. While it's a different sport, it's the same mentality. Get your work done, do extra work, get there early, stuff like that. Just things that you don't know at the pro level because it's you don't know until you get there. But just having a dad that was able to teach me at a young age and showed me the best of the he was with the best of the best. So just showing me that how to navigate everything and just the like the business behind the business, because like the higher you go, like it's a lot of stuff you don't think about, but him being able to teach me a lot of that stuff was just really influential in my life.
Yeah, I love that. Last question I'll ask before we dive into like some real fun ones. For you, what are you looking forward to most about going to Georgia? What are some of the goals that you have as you get there, not just personally, but for the team as well?
This team is amazing. Like
Yeah.
on paper, like
It's gonna be a fun team to watch.
Like 16 guys throwing like 95 plus, 3-4 guys throwing like 100. I'm like, because like that was one of the things that last year was kind of like they had a really good pitching staff, but of course we all know like the hitting was amazing. Yeah, Condon and Trey Phelps and all those type of guys just balling. And you have Coach Coggins, which is, in my opinion, one of the best hitting coaches in the country. That dude knows everything. Like I'm telling you, like everything. Like he just sleeps. He like sleeps in the office. But and also just Coach Johnson, like Wes Johnson, just like having that that background. He's more like a pitching guy, but still though, just like I just feel like what really attracted me to like go to Georgia was my conversation. Like when I took my visit, and I was like asking the guys, and they're like, what type of coach is Coach Johnson? Because I want to know. You know, I'm going into a new program. I want to know who the coaches are, how like the facilities, like the staff, and everything like that. So what they told me was, you know, the only time he's going to get on you is if you don't believe in yourself. And I was like, oh, you're lying. You know what I mean? I'm like, come on. At the time, I'm like, come on. Like I know how coaches are. That's a lot. But when I really got to meet him, I was like, man, this guy, he's just like a personable guy. Like it's bigger than baseball. Like, yes, he's going to push you and do everything in the baseball world, but like he cares more about you as a man and kind of just like the self-confidence. That's like the biggest thing that like he just harps on. So I'm just really excited to get there, be able to meet all the guys. Cause like I've been able to like connect with them a little bit, but like it's different just being like not on the team in the fall. So like I'm just really excited, just be able to get around the team again, just get that team camaraderie, being able to just meet them I've met them face to face, but just being able to like be around them every day and just kind of know how they click, because every team's different, and just kind of getting used to that atmosphere. So I'm excited.
I love it. That's awesome. We're going to dump into a few rapid fire fun questions. Since this is on the clock, just going to put you on the clock. First one's your favorite home run that you've hit.
Okay. Versus Miami in the ACC tournament, hit it over the scoreboard. That was probably my farthest ball I've ever hit.
Were you there for that, Tyler?
Yep. What was it, Grand Slam?
I think it was two-run home run.
Okay. Because I know you hit 3 that week.
Yeah.
And I feel like one of them was a Grand Slam. If not, it was Zach Morris against State that I remember.
The Grand Slam was in the championship.
Okay. Because that was a rout. I remember that.
Next one is, if you could build your Mount Rushmore of outfielders, who would it be? And this doesn't have to be like the top outfielders in the MLB, like just for the guys that you looked up to growing up too.
Like Ken Griffey Jr., Ronald Acuna Jr., I'd say Mookie Betts.
Love that.
And then I'd say Mike Trout.
Yeah, that's a great pick. That might be the best one we've had so far.
I think I'm with you on that one.
My favorite's Ken Griffey Jr. though.
Yeah. 100%. And I think every guy that we've had on that's an outfielder has put Griffey in there. Not a single person.
You have to. or Willie Mays. Willie Mays, maybe. I love Willie Mays. Just like his defense, just everything. Just watching him. Yeah.
I love it. Next one is, if you could face any MLB starting pitcher, who would it be?
Skeens. I'd probably try to face Paul Skeens.
Yeah. Yeah. You almost could have probably had a shot. But...
Yeah. Close. I was almost there.
Nah, not too far off. Last one I got is, what's the go-to walk-up song for 2025?
Ooh.
Still got time to decide, I know.
It's gonna be something Tupac, I think. Because I'm always maybe California Love. I did I Ain't Mad at You last year. I might do California Love this year just to get the crowd into it a little bit more.
I love it.
I dig it.
Devin, man, we can't thank you enough for taking time out of your day to join us on the Clock. We know you're extremely busy, and we're going to be watching you next year and wishing you nothing but the best.
Really appreciate you guys having me.